Yo, what is going on, my YouTube people? 2099 back here with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a very special video with a guest here, Kenta. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing all right, doing all right. We're excited to be on the channel, excited to be talking some footy from the summer.
Let's start with Group A. So we've got Argentina, Canada, Chile, and Peru, which is already by itself a very spicy group. I mean, there's clearly a favorite, but in terms of the other three, it can really go either way, Kenta. Now, I'm obviously going to go Argentina first, but for the three others, like, it can really go either way. But just because I'm from Canada, I'll put Canada second. But if Chile or Peru end up being second, that's also a very valid opinion. What do you think, Kenta?
Canada, obviously the new appointment of Jesse Marsch as the head coach. We'll have a couple of friendlies is it between the Netherlands and France, so some really, really good opponents heading into Copa America. Peru coming off of a really poor stretch in World Cup qualification. They're dead last in CONMEBOL for World Cup qualification, so they're not necessarily in the greatest of form. And obviously Chile last time the Copa America was in the US, and back in I think 2016 they won it all. They named themselves, a lot of their players and their fan base named themselves as the best team in the world, and it just never was the same. Haven't qualified for the last two World Cups. It's been spiraling downwards, as you said. But there's still such a good team that I think second place is probably likely between those two, between Canada and Chile. I'll go ahead and also agree with you. I'll put Canada second, Chile third, Peru fourth, with Argentina topping the group for Group A.
Moving on to Group B now, Ecuador, Jamaica, Mexico, and Venezuela. Now, this is an interesting group. A lot of people have told me this is probably the most boring group. I would tend to agree, but then again, I think with how the forms are for all four of these teams, the first place can really be anyone here. I'm going to put Mexico first. No, you know what? No, I'll put a bold prediction. I'll put Jamaica first. I want the Reggae Boys to do well. Probably not going to happen, but I would want Jamaica to do well. If I had to pick one team to back up in this group, it would be Jamaica. I'd put, God, Mexico or Ecuador would be second for me. I'd put Mexico second. I'd put Ecuador third. And Venezuela, unfortunately, I'll put them fourth. What do you think?
You look at Mexico first, as you said. You had them winning the group. They're technically rated the highest in terms of FIFA rankings. They're coming off of a Gold Cup win in 2023, but it wasn't anything even remotely close to like dominant. It wasn't convincing of a win. I think this is a really big test for this Mexican side. I don't know if they top this group. I have them finishing second in Group B behind Ecuador. Ecuador, for me, I think this is the perfect We've seen this team do well at international competitions before. They're a hugely talented side. A lot of talents that go under the radar. Obviously, the big name I think from this team has to be Moises Caicedo, Chelsea, massive transfer to last season. But you look down this up and down this roster, a lot of underrated names in Europe and also just in Ecuador, a lot of local talent. And maybe I guess it's an underdog for this group, but I have them winning the group. Third place, I have Venezuela, surprisingly, which means I have your winner finishing last.
Your opinions aren't bad at all. Maybe I went a little too overboard with Jamaica. Like, I'm kind of like reconsidering it, but I'll stick with Jamaica first. I want the Reggae Boys to do well. Purely based on the fact that I want them to do well, I'm gonna stick them first. Don't disappoint me, Jamaica. Like, please don't finish fourth. Don't make it so that Kenta is right. I will be really, really disappointed. I will be suing the Jamaican Federation, and I'll see you guys in court. Nevertheless, let's go on to Group C now. Bolivia, Panama, the United States of America, and Uruguay. I think this group is pretty self-explanatory. I would put Uruguay first. I think Uruguay is a very, good team. I don't think anyone needs to say anything more than that, right? As for second position, I'll let Kenta speak more on this because he knows American soccer a lot more than I do. I'll put the USA in. I don't like the USA. I don't want them to do well, but nevertheless, you have to be unbiased. I'll put them second. So I have Uruguay getting the first position in this group. I have the US being second. So third and fourth, yeah, I'll put Panama third and I'll put Bolivia fourth. What do you think, Kenta?
I mean, Uruguay, starting with the team that you had winning, I also have them winning this group. The one thing with Uruguay, they've always, if it feels like as of late, underperformed at the Copa America tournament in particular. So we'll see how they perform, but knowing the rest of this group, specifically with Panama and Bolivia, and neither of them are in particularly great form. Neither of them have, the star talent to potentially match up against these guys. And um, it seems I think Uruguay edges out USA in a head-to-head matchup, and I think they take the group pretty comfortably there. So I have them finishing first behind the host USA. I think there's enough talent there. You're also playing at home. You're playing in places that you're going to be likely more confident in, and have the majority of the fan base there. So it's hard not to see them making it out of this group stage at least. But I think the bigger task for the U.S. men's national team will be in the knockout stage. So Panama, Bolivia, it's a toss up. It's whoever wins that matchup if it's a head to head. I'll go Bolivia, but again, it's a coin flip.
Moving on to Group D, we've got a pretty cool group as well: Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Paraguay. Brazil are always going to be the favorites for Copa America, no matter what their form has been. I don't know if I want to put them first. I think it'd be pretty controversial if I don't put them first, right? But they played very well against England. I saw that game. They were very, very good. Against Spain, they were decent as well. They do have two friendlies against Mexico and the USA coming up. So if they're able to ease through those two friendlies, then I guess the confidence will be at an all-time high. I want you to do the predictions first because I don't know if I should put Brazil first, to be honest with you.
I mean, first things first, they're under a brand new manager. Played the two friendly matches against, I think, as you said, England. I think it was also a draw against Spain. That's all he's played, and he's gotten two good results against great European sides. So, I think that new age, I'm forgetting the name of the manager. He'd be the manager for Sao Paulo at one point before coming into this Brazil national team. I have them finishing first place, winning the group. It's practically impossible for me not to put them. The only other contender here is Colombia, who has been outstanding in form, right? It's hard for me not to put Brazil first. So I do have Brazil first. Colombia, again, they're exceptional form. They beat Brazil in the most recent matchup. So if anyone's going to contend with them in this group, it's going to be them. I have them comfortably finishing in the second place. And then it's between Costa Rica, who I think Keylor Navas retired from international football before this tournament. So what happens to that goalkeeping position, I'm not sure. And it's also Paraguay, which Paraguay is doing not great, but not bad. If you look back at their World Cup qualification form over the last 12 months, I think they're right in like that next stage group area, so like seventh, I guess that would be in CONMEBOL. But I think because the quality in CONMEBOL is higher, that seventh place holds a little bit more of a it's a little bit more of a bigger deal for them to be in seventh place in CONMEBOL World Cup qualification than for Costa Rica to be where they are. And Costa Rica's form has been abysmal. Like you look at their form, whether that's through their friendlies or through the Gold Cup or through Nations, like it's just been really bad. So now you're losing your big leader, regardless of how well he's been playing, like or just in general. You're losing Keylor Navas. I can't put them anywhere but fourth place, which I guess naturally means that Paraguay finishes third for my predictions there.
Any last words for me? Yeah, I'll put Brazil first. More so, my reasoning is more over Colombia just being better than them, not necessarily Brazil being so bad. But you're right; they've had a new manager who's been pretty decent. So, I guess they're really going to be watched over with these two friendlies coming in. And if they're able to do well in those two friendlies, then I guess my answer would be more concrete. But yeah, I guess I'll put Brazil first, Colombia second. So it is what it is. But that's pretty much it. Any last words I want to ask you is who do you think is winning the whole thing?
Off the final being in Miami, it feels like it's scripted for Messi to go back to where he's playing his club football to win it all. Brazil, I know they're ranked fifth in the world, and I think they're coming into this competition with the most pressure, just because they've seen their arch rivals in CONMEBOL win the World Cup, win Copa America in the last like 4 year stretch. They had the lead against it was Croatia in the World Cup, and they fumbled it. So they're going into this tournament, I think, with the most pressure. So you'd like to see them, or at least I'd like to see them, make it to that final. And I think if I remember how this tournament's set up, it's the winner of groups A and B facing off against the second place teams of A and B, and then it's the winners of C and D facing off against the second place of C and D. So it's entirely possible for the two of them to end up in the final. That would be fun in Miami. I mean, that would be a show. So that'll be my prediction. I do think Argentina ends up winning it all. It's hard not to put them considering how well they've been playing. And then now you're talking about, are they one of the best national teams in a like 4 or 5 year stretch, like of all time, not just right now, right? I mean, you winning back-to-back Copa Americas with a World Cup sandwich in between. That's a very impressive resume. And they're heading into the next World Cup right back here in the US with loads and loads of confidence. So they're kind of the easy pick, but I will still go Argentina for Copa America.
Yeah, I agree with you fully on quite literally everything. I think the only team that I would mix in with would be Uruguay. I think they also have a chance of making it to the final. Other than that, I don't think I would really give my 2 cents to the other sides. Maybe Jamaica. No, I'm kidding. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. My winner would be either Argentina, Uruguay, or Brazil, one of the three. Which I guess a lot of people are gonna have the same opinion. Those are like literally the 3 best teams. But if I had to pick one, I don't want to give it to Argentina. It's too boring. But like boring always wins. Do you know what I mean? I'll give it to Argentina. Screw it. Argentina, whatever. Lionel Messi can get another trophy. He's gonna get called rigged on Twitter or X, and it's never gonna end. Argentina, yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. So that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to add for this Copa America thing. Hopefully, this mix of CONCACAF and CONMEBOL does well. We'll see. The first matchup is going to be Argentina against Canada. We will be there no matter what. Hopefully, Canada produces a shocker, in a good way. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I just hope Canada doesn't get smashed, man. That's the only thing I'm hoping for. I really hope we don't get smashed. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys all stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Damn, I'm on red alert. How she went up in the dirt, man. I don't wanna hurt.